Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
Welcome to the Bleaves Crypto Show. My name is Bleaves. Good morning to everybody. I hope that you are having a great day so far. We've got a reversal in the market. It's starting to tick up a little bit slowly at first. Maybe as the U.S. market opens up and we really start to see something happening. The expiries are closing in a few hours. So what we've got so far is our prediction yesterday was that the market would dip based upon the options expiry. And then after that, we would probably start to move. The reason that I say that is because when you're dumping like this, when you're dumping into this market, it's because you're looking for that bottom because you expect a move, a broader move one way or another. Now, if you see people buying it up and buying it up and buying it up, then the most likely scenario is it's going to come back down. The reason it's going to come back down is because the bears are going to start selling off dramatically. But we saw a dip, which means that we might actually see a pump off of this expiry. These guys are betting, and they're betting on whether or not they're going to move from the position that we are in. Now, for maximum leverage, they wouldn't be stopping. There would be a larger cascade of downside momentum if all of these guys thought that the market was going to dump. So, and by the way, Derek Hines says, reversal, LOL. We're up $30 billion on the day. So that's not the same as $175 billion they got dumped out of the market. But we got to be honest. Higher low, higher low, higher low. We're still in an uptrend. So, I mean, what are we saying? Do you know what I mean? And then when you zoom out and you take it a little bit further, we are in a gigantic uptrend. We could lose this right here, back down here, and still be in a dramatic uptrend. You know, when in doubt, zoom out. So, here we have it. Here we are for the day. By the way, yesterday, you guys saw my Margex. Let me see if I can get this pulled up real quick. You know, for some reason, weird thing, when I pull up margex.com/en, it usually gives me an error message. And I don't know why. I don't understand what's going on with that. Oh, shit. I just hit refresh for no reason. Here we go. So we have one that's in profit right now. We're better off than we were on a lot of these right now. You can see right here, we're down quite a bit, but we're up a little bit on that small one that we took on Link. The one that I have the biggest distress on right now is Avalanche. Avalanche looking just so incredibly weak right now that, I'm feeling like that one is going to collapse. What I'm feeling better about, Ethereum. Ethereum seems to be holding strong. Our pain, our max pain here was 35.87. We didn't get there. We're down. We're not ripping. So, but we were at 3,700 at one point, or very close to 3,700. We had reached that sort of max pain kind of threshold there, or kind of close to it. We were feeling it a little bit last night, and today we're getting a tiny bit of reversal. Maybe we'll get we'll get something out of it. And yeah, Avalanche had a price pump a few days ago. We bought into it over here, right about there, hoping for a reversal in that golden zone and for a big move towards that upside. We have not gotten it yet. So, but let's talk about what's going on. If you are Terra Luna Classic, USTD has failed. I look, and by the way, I got a bunch of people who are trying to hate on me right now, clowning it out because they don't like the fact that I'm telling you what you might not want to hear, which is that they are radical left lunatics, these validators, that are trying to control what you can do or what you cannot do. Okay. Look no further. By the way, you don't have to believe me. All you have to do is look at how your validators voted versus how your delegators voted. The people who delegate, the people who care, the people who voted yes to this initiative. The validators decided that they know better than you what is good for you. Those are called radical leftists. They want control over what you do. They want to control everything that happens. And it doesn't matter what you want. What they want for you is what you will accept. So Jesus is Lord. I mean, of course, it's Jesus. So obviously he's a radical leftist. But then you've got all of the rest of them. And by the way, this is not the only ones. All nodes, it's all the same. It's all the same. The people wanted this proposal. The validators decided, oh, no, we know better than you. Not everybody, of course. If you care at all, then you can go look up the vote. And you can look it up at right here, validator.info/Terra-Classic. And you can see exactly what the governance proposal was. You can see exactly what it is. You can see exactly how everybody voted. And you can see how their delegations voted. Okay, so you had the top people up here all voting no. You had some people like Happy Caddy Crypto who's still in a hospital with no internet. You know what I mean? Like, so, but they voted no. And by the way, some of these guys gave decent reasons. So all nodes said we are voting no because the proposal should not use community pool funds. And I have to ask the question because this is the dumbest thing I've ever read. I understand where they're coming from, but I'm also not stupid. So what the fuck is community pool supposed to be used for? What are we doing? This is the dumbest shit I've ever read. Lunk Live, friend of the channel, Mr. Diamond Hand, says validators are to protect the network from any threats or risks that compromise the integrity of this chain and its people. Our focus is mainly on the people and protecting their investment in the safest and most reliable way possible. We vote no. Okay, no problem. However, here's what I'm going to say. Here's the chart. How are you protecting anybody's investment? And I think that that should be a fair question. I mean, you tell me how you're protecting their investment when 3 years after they invested, here, or here, or here, or here, how the decisions are working to their advantage and their favor. It's not complicated, by the way. I don't think that these validators are looking out for you, the investor. To me, what matters is you, the investor. Well, Mr. Diamond Hands, and by the way, Derek says, damn, Mr. Diamond Hands pimped the committee. Everybody's got their principles, and he's still a friend of mine. I got his number on speed dial, and we talk. So I know the guy. I disagreed with this, but I understand his reason. Again, it's about the reasoning by which they're doing it. And, you know, I'll accept that this is what he thinks. I don't think he's right. And again, that's okay. The question is, how did his delegators vote? Did he thumb his nose at the delegators? And if they do, and if that's what's happened, and you're still delegating with these people, what are you doing? They're not the problem, by the way. You are the problem. If you delegated to all nodes and they voted no, you're the problem. If you delegated with Lunk Live and they voted no, you're the problem. If you validated with, or you delegated to Jesus is Lord 1 or 2 scam, then then you're the problem. You're the one that gave them the power. Now, the one instance where you didn't give them the power is this right here. Jesus is Lord and Greenpeace worked together to vote no and then change the delegation to give Greenpeace a bigger vote. So you can make that argument, but also I wouldn't be able to prove that it was them that did it, by the way. It could just be somebody in there that was trying to make sure that it did not go through. So it could be people trying to manipulate and do something about it. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying it's them directly, but I'm saying that the people that, the people that hate this chain and don't want it to succeed, the leftists, the radical leftist lunatics that don't want to see it succeed, they won this day. Now, that doesn't mean that nothing's going to happen. That doesn't mean that it's not going to pump. That doesn't mean that we're not going to have a run. I just, I'm going to have to look at that 40x thesis and say that, we probably are going to get 40x at this point because we clearly don't care enough about the growth of your wallet. They do care about the chain, by the way. They just don't care about your wallet. So, and I can't make them do that. Only you as a delegator can do that. Delegate with the people who support the growth of the chain. If you don't do that, you get what you deserve. It's pretty simple. All right. So the question of the day before we go any further is this. Should you choose XRP or Bitcoin as your primary crypto? If you are looking for something near, and by the way, it should be noted that you will not become a millionaire unless you are close to a millionaire anyway, unless you have a lot of money. I would say this. If you have at this position right now, $600,000, Bitcoin will probably make you a millionaire because I don't think it's going to go higher than maybe, 170,000, something like that. Okay. And that means that 600,000 would turn into about $1 million. So if you want to become a millionaire, you need a lot of money in Bitcoin. If you want to be a millionaire in XRP, you could probably at this point do that with about 100,000 or 200,000. So really when we're talking about this, we're talking about a large bag of these cryptos to see what the best return is going to be. So I asked Grok 2 questions, okay? And let me show you what it is, and then we'll go over the answer. First is if you had to choose between XRP or Bitcoin for maximum gains in this bull run, which would you choose and why? The only important factor is maximum gains. After giving that result, do the same thing and predict the safest return as a secondary objective. So we have 2 answers to this, and I wanted to make sure that you got both of those answers, okay? For the primary objective of maximum gains, I'd choose XRP, although XRP typically delivers outsized returns during bull runs compared to Bitcoin, which often acts as the market anchor with more measured upside. Current XRP price prediction or price is approximately $2.76, while Bitcoin sits around 109,500. Predictions for XRP in 2025 show explosive potential, with bullish scenarios targeting a $15, a 5.4x gain from here, or even $15 to $33 in a breakout similar to past cycles. More conservative estimates still point to $5 or $7 peaks, implying 1.8 to 2.5 return. This is fueled by regulatory clarity, post-SEC ruling, ETF speculation, and XRP utility in cross-border payments, which could amplify adoption in risk-on environment. In contrast, Bitcoin's 2025 forecast tops out at 150,000 to 250,000, with averages around 113 to 145, as it's more tied to institutional inflows and halving, but less prone to parabolic surges. Recent X sentiment echoes this, with traders eyeing XRP breakouts to $15, while Bitcoin calls cluster at 150,000. So in the event that you want to make the best return, the best potential return, then the numbers stand for themselves, speak for themselves. Nobody is calling for more than a 2.3x right now on Bitcoin, but people are calling for up to a 5.4 on average or even more and higher for XRP. So if you are putting your risk into it, then the maximum gains are going to come from XRP. So a 5.4x means you need to have $200,000 in XRP right now. If you have $200,000, probably going to be a millionaire at the end of this run. That's an estimate. You never know what's going to happen. On the low end, 5 to 7 is still better than the returns on Bitcoin. Don't forget that. Now, safest return as a secondary objective. Switching to the secondary objective of the safest return, I'd choose Bitcoin as the original cryptocurrency and the recognized store of value. Bitcoin exhibits lower volatility. Its 2025 realized volatility is about 18% versus XRP's 15%, but with sharper crashes. Analysts consistently view Bitcoin as the safer long-term hold due to ETF-driven stability, nation-state adoption, and its role as a market beta play with the end of 2025 targets of 145 to 173,000, offering reliable 30 to 60% gains without the regulatory overhang of utility-specific risks plaguing XRP. XRP, while promising, remains more speculative with split analyst views on its post-SEC trajectory and higher beta to market downturns. X discussions reinforce Bitcoin as the steady bull anchor at 125 to 150,000 end of year versus XRP's hype-driven volatility. So the simple answer to this is if you want maximum gains, you should have a very large bag of XRP. Remembering, however, that in this context, you're looking at a 5x return from where we currently are all the way up to $25, which would make it about a 10x return, 9x return from where it is right now. So $125,000 if it goes to $25 like I'm predicting, and you'll be a millionaire. So if you had that amount, you're good. With Bitcoin, $600,000 is how much you're going to need. If you only get a 30% gain, by the way, which is maybe 140,000, 145,000. If you only get that, then you're talking about 800,000, not going to be that large a return. What you need is you need that top end at 173,000. It goes to 173,000, you're a millionaire. That's the way that it's going to work. Now, things could get dramatic, things could get crazy, but generally speaking, if you want to become a millionaire, it's going to be with XRP and a lower dollar amount, but there are inherent large risks. If you want to be safe with your money and safe in assets, Bitcoin is your play. If you've already got, look, if I'm saying if I have $200,000 and I got to choose between the two, I'm going to choose right now, not long-term. I'm going to choose XRP. When I get my run, whatever that run might be, if I can find the top or if I can get close to the top, I'm going to take that nice profit. I'm going to stable it, and then I'm going to roll it over into Bitcoin on the dip because I believe that Bitcoin has the best return from the beginning because it is the store of value. Everything, as a reminder, that you are doing in cryptocurrency, if you're going to be in cryptocurrency, then be in cryptocurrency. And if that is the case, then everything that you do should be revolving around getting and establishing yourself as a larger Bitcoin holder. The end. That's what it should be. If you can accumulate 5 Bitcoin in this next dip, then you will be a multimillionaire in the next bull market. So that should be, in my opinion, your goal. All right. And I don't know exactly when it's going to happen. Like Raul Paul said, like we've drawn out, we're in a 5-year cycle instead of a 4-year cycle right now. Regulations, things slowed down the bull run. We're in a different space right now. The market's maturing. So things are a little bit different. And it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird because there is a paradigm shift, but we're still going to get the run. We're still going to get, we're still going to get clarity. We're still going to get all the things that we wanted to see all this time. I don't know exactly how it looks, but it's coming. So going back to Luna Classic, now that we got through that, this is what I just posted on X, which, by the way, I did this because I did this right here. This right here is the Lunk Validators protecting investors. Do you see the clown show? And they got pissed. Okay. They got mad as hell, right? And we got this right here. And don't listen to influencers. Comical. Poor show this. Pushing a narrative this dump is due to proposal, not passing, and not the entire market dumping. Yeah, Lunk dumped the entire market. I'm just fucking with these people, right? But as you go down here, you're going to see some people, they're just mad. This one right here, this is absolutely, Très magnifique. Is that how you say it, Maddie? Senior Sir Smitch, wherever this guy is. This guy has been in this thread for a while, getting pissed off, just working himself up into a frenzy, posting over and over and over again. And God damn it, it is fucking glorious. So what did I do? Did I say, oh, my bad, I'm sorry, I didn't mean any of that? No, of course not. I'm an asshole. I doubled down. So I said, imagine being one of these radical leftist validators that ignored your wishes on the Lunk chain. You clearly wanted the USTD to pass, and these radical leftist overlords decided that they had your money and abused the power that you gave them and ignored what you wanted. Those people are called Democrats in America. And that was the best insult that I thought that I could come up with. So I'm just going to let this one marinate for a while, and I'm going to see what these guys do and what these guys say, because if that first one caused them to lose their shit, then what do you think the second one's going to do? And by the way, the annoying part is I brought the receipts. I just brought the receipts with me and showed vote analytics and showed exactly what people voted, exactly what people said, and why they are either in line with their delegators or they are out of line with their delegators. You know what I mean? Woo! I think Maddie is Italian, not French. Isn't it the same thing? Isn't it? Oh my God, don't have a frog, Frenchies. It's fine. I'm just kidding. I know. It's totally, look, I know, just Jesus Christ. If you're French, just put up the white flag and surrender and just call me right. Motherfucker. Anyway, so I'm having fun with it. Anyway, let's go into Kobayashi and let's see what's going on over here. Technology firms are borrowing money at a rapid pace. Tech companies have raised $157 billion in the public bond market, the highest year-to-date total since 2020. This is up $65 billion. Or 70% from 2024 and $90 billion more than 2023. Oracle led the rush with $26 billion of publicly traded debt sold. Meanwhile, investment-grade corporate bond spreads have fallen to 74 basis points, nearly their 27-year low. And as investment opportunity remains strong, investment opportunity remains strong. That's what matters here to all of us. Investment money is still strong. Bull market, zero hit right now. We're still in the bull market. You know what I mean? If you haven't already, sign up, become a member of the channel. Sign up at terracasino.io. Go to terraport.finance for all your trading needs. Meme linked having a little bit of a reversal, had a little bit dumped the other day because Pablo launched Crow Show. So I'm going to be watching this. I still hold a big bag of meme linked. I'll see what happens with that. Devi ecosystem, we are 2 business days away from the end of the year, and they have gone silent yet again. It's really annoying, by the way, really annoying. So, and by the way, I don't think that anything is going to launch unless it's on like a Monday anyway. So here's what I think is going to happen. I think over the weekend, we're going to get the update from the team, or Monday morning, we're going to get the update from the team that the public shard is now live, that they're going to meet that deadline. It's going to be either Monday or Tuesday, and then it will launch. And then the rest of it, by the way, in the roadmap, for those of you that didn't, that don't remember the roadmap here, the white paper update, you've got, okay, so you've got the ecosystem project foundation and testing infrastructure, which we don't know anything about. Like, we're not going to see that. The updated websites, those happened. This one we won't know about because it's not public. This one we're waiting for. And this one, white paper update, I think we're waiting for that one too. So we got these two getting ready to happen. Should happen on Monday, probably at the same time. We'll probably see it at the same time. And then from there, then we'll be able to make a better determination about, you know, what's next, or you know, some shit like that. And then we'll be looking at this right here. It's all about this licensing right now. And then the announced institutional exchange partner. So there we go. This is where the quote unquote rubber hits the road, if you will. So, Devi getting very, very close to having a potential breakout, I think. I got into the Definity chat to see what was going on over there. I don't really see a whole lot going on. I was in, I'm in their Telegram. And let me see if I can find it here real quick. Yeah, here we go. I'm in the Telegram, and it's not very active. You know, it's not very active. Every once in a while, you get somebody making a comment or something. But you know, I don't see a whole lot of activity on it. So, you know, I'm not really sure what the next step is for Definity. It is having a little bit, by the way, remember it surged the other day and we had a nice little uptick in the price action on it. Then we had a tiny little bit of dump. And then of course, that got bought back up a little bit right here. Not a lot, but a little bit. Went over 4 million market cap, came back down to a 3 million market cap. So volatile swings happening on this. And, you know, again, I think that if I'm right here, you know, we've got upside momentum that should probably continue. We've seen this every time it comes down to the bottom here. It's going up a little bit higher. We're getting up in this sort of range here. So I would look for Definity to, you know, move up here into that 6 million range, doubling where it is right now, probably up 100% in the next little while, next couple of days. Beyond that, I don't know. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll see what happens there. I'm watching for it to happen. Also, crypto bubbles. Let's take a quick look over here. We're doing this on the day. XPL up 65% on the day. Mantle up 7% on the day. Hype up 4%. Ether is up 7.4% on the day. The rest of the market just a little bit in the red right now. Not seeing that breakout that we're looking for. Not seeing that crazy move that we're hoping for. Just not here yet. But top 100, boy, it's dramatically shifted. This is not the same as what we had a year or even 2 years ago. In the next, we've got Mira up 23.6%, Zero at 14.7%. The synthetics up 15%. Avantis dipping. Avantis had to cool off at some point. Had a great run. I mean, this had a great run. Sun token, remember, Sun token is going to be the one, right? Like that's the DeFi. That's the token that we're looking for right there. That's the one that's going to kick off Tron season whenever Tron season happens. So we'll be looking at Sun token to have a nice little breakout at some point pretty soon. So, you know, maybe it happens. Maybe it, I don't know. SQD, which is up 167% today. Been looking for one of those kind of breakouts, right? If you got SQD, today was a good day. If you got Troll, you're up 11%. STBL 19.4. I think that was supposed to be stable, but I don't know. Sats up 30%. Apex up 32%. So, you know, there's some people moving just a little bit. Electronium having a nice little rip for the day, up 20%. You know, these, by the way, these are the things that I'm looking for from Devi. Just to be fair here, like, you know, those are the things that I was looking for. So all I'm ever looking for is unreal, just absolute parabolic gains every single day. So is that too much to ask? All right, guys, the time is now. The time is now. Fear and Greed Index is at 28. The time is now for you to get in on Bitcoin. 28. This means that we are going to sell at 70. That's the operating thesis, right? So let's, fingers crossed, see what happens here, right here and now. We've made it to 30. Buy as much Bitcoin as you possibly can and wait for the gains to happen, okay? That's what we're going to do. And then we shall see exactly what happens from there, okay? This is the operating thesis. This is the move. This is the time. Everything that I was telling you guys is here today. So buy when it's 30, sell when it's 70, and you should always make a profit. Them's the rules, baby. I don't make it up. You know what I mean? So, and then by the way, let's just say, for example, what I'm going to do is I have a couple $1,000s on a couple of different exchanges. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go buy Bitcoin on all of them right now. And I'm going to hold on to it until it gets to 70. And then I'm going to sell it. And then I'm going to go look at all of the different cryptos that I'm holding on these centralized exchanges. And then I'm going to decide, do I want to deploy that capital back into those? Or do I want to just let it ride and take my lumps or take my losses or whatever the case may be? So that's what I'm going to be doing. And we're going to be doing that right now. Actually, as soon as the show is over, that's exactly what we're doing. We're buying up as much Bitcoin as we can stomach. We're going to use all of our capital on that. And then we're going to see how it runs up. And then remember, once we get that, once we've made a little bit of profit, whatever that profit is, once we made a few bucks off of it, then we're going to redeploy that back into, I'm not just going to hold it and just do Bitcoin for right now. I'm going to, at 70, deploy it into altcoins, hoping for that big rig. The reason for that is because I'm trying to get paid. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to find that altcoin that's just going to absolutely moon. Other than Devi, I'm pretty convinced that that one's going to be one of them, but I don't know that there's not a bunch of other ones. So, you know what I mean? You said Bitcoin to 175K. Exactly. But it's not going to go there when it gets to 70. Like, we could still see a dip. I mean, it went to 125,000 just recently, 124,277. Close enough. So it went to 124,000 and it was at over 70 on the fear and greed index, but it started from a 30 down at the bottom. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't care how high it goes. I'm not just holding on to it for 175. I'm holding on to it for the fear and greed index. This is the single best indicator in all of cryptocurrency is the fear and greed index, the FAG. Ha, 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 ha. All right. So net outflows yesterday on the Bitcoin spot ETF of 253 million. Ethereum looked pretty bad. I don't know what it ended up being, but it looked pretty bad. It was 251 million. Quarter four, get to no higher than 150K. Well, of course not. It's not. Yeah, I know that. But the reason for that is because, zoom out, the cycle top is over here in June of next year. 173,000 cycle top in June of right about there. That's the Fibonacci golden ratio from the last low to high, 170,000. We have a long time. Like, we're not going to 170,000 today. We're not breaking out of this, we're not breaking out of this level that we're in right now. That's ridiculous. We're going to surge a few times. And then by June of next year, 175,000. So what I'm going to be looking for is, can we get this move? Can we get this back to the upside? Can we get the fear and greed index pumping up here into 135,000-ish, somewhere in that neighborhood? And then can we get another breakdown to here, which would then be where we are right now, basically. And then the big surge finally happens. Ta-da. By the way, let's not forget that Selmo was the same guy who told me that Bitcoin was dead 2 years ago. Boy, was that wrong. Because I said 50,000. And he was like, bullshit, 30,000. You know what I mean? And Clarity Act by the end of the year. Clarity Act by the end of the year. In time for tax refunds. Also, we had a big surge in the market. We had a nice little run going, and it has now been Americanized, or, the liquidity has been sucked out like it's made out of dick, which is crazy. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, U.S. investors, man, you guys are gay. You guys are you really love it. Ugh, gross. Anyway, so we could have some more downward trend here. We could see some, we could see what could be, some sad shit happening right now. But the important thing is Bitcoin is in the position right now. Bitcoin is in the position right now of 28 on the Fear and Greed Index. It is time to buy as much Bitcoin as you can. And all DEXs, look at this. Ethereum, $9 billion yesterday. Look at that. Solana, 6 billion. BSC, 5 billion. Base, 2 billion. Hyperliquid, 2 billion. Arbitrum, 1.5 billion. Avalanche, 1 billion. SWE, 788 million. There's so much going on right now. It is absolutely insane. Now, unfortunately, a lot of that was sell down. A lot of that was sell off. You know, that kind of sucks when that happens. But, I mean, here we are. This is the Friday expiry. This is the options. This is the big day. This is, you know, fingers crossed that we're not going to get screwed by the end of the day. U.S. market, by the way, Dow Jones is pumping to 129 right now. So maybe we'll see this. Maybe we'll see a continuation here. Maybe we'll see something good happen. But we got to be. We got to look at this one. Avalanche still dumping. I'm probably going to get liquidated on Avalanche. Like, you know, I'll take that risk though. And by the way, the whole market could just like crash. You know what I mean? I might lose $5,000 on this. This pisses me off. It does piss me off. It's kind of doesn't piss me off. It makes me nervous because I don't want to lose money. But I mean, I lose money every day, right? Or I gain money every day. I mean, you know, the bag goes up, the bag goes down. Whatever you lose, you can make back. So maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see a nice little run. Maybe we won't. I don't know. This does not look good though. Avalanche. By the way, this is like this right here is just like insanity. If you go back down here to the original pivot right there, and then you start bringing it back up here, like it still looks shitty. Even from there, like, God damn, you know what I mean? Like it's God damn, you know what I mean? So maybe Avalanche is cooked. Maybe it's cooked. So I still think that it's going to be one of those big runners in the market. Just does not look good today. Be nice to see a little breakout on it, but oh well. XVM is up 20% on the day. We're going to go over here. We're going to skip a lot of this today because I'm going to leave early because I got to go. I got to take somebody to the doctor later today. So I'm not going to have a whole lot of time. So I'm going to get out of here a little bit quickly. XVM Volt up 18% on the day, about 20%. Right wing is up another 15% on the day. Everything else just kind of down on the day, not really feeling it, waiting for that next leg to break out. So that's going to be it. That's going to be the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I got to get out of here. I'm not even feeling good today. Like I feel like, ugh. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go try to work out and see what happens. And then I got to go take somebody to the doctor. And then we're going to do the live stream tonight. We're going to do a trading live stream tonight. We'll talk about whether or not I got destroyed or whether I got some of my money back. We're going to find out. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right. You guys have a good day. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you again.
I'm looking for the good life, sitting on top of the world.